The United States says it is punishing a group of companies and individuals across Europe and the Middle East for what Washington calls evading anti-Iran sanctions. The U.S. Treasury Department says the businesses and individuals are located in Turkey, Spain, Germany, Georgia, Afghanistan, Iran, Liechtenstein, and the United Arab Emirates. The U.S. has imposed numerous sanctions against Iran over its nuclear energy program. Tehran has time and again said the unilateral sanctions are illegal. It has also said any new sanctions on the country will kill last November's Geneva deal over Iran's nuclear program. Under the deal, the P5+1 group of countries, including the U.S., have committed themselves to easing sanctions on Iran, while Tehran agreed to stop 20% uranium enrichment. To discuss that further, we're now joined by Professor William Beeman, who is a professor at the University of Minnesota, and he's joining us live now from San Jose. Professor Beeman, thanks a lot for joining us. Now, what exactly is the U.S. game plan here? Why exactly is Washington going after these companies, especially at this time?
This may seem counterintuitive, but what the United States is doing is trying to protect the agreement with Iran and the P5+1 nations that is lasting for 6 months while we have regular negotiations. What the U.S. is trying to do is to keep the U.S. Congress from enacting further sanctions against Iran by showing that they haven't weakened in their resolve to keep the sanctions in place. And this may seem, as I say, this may seem counterintuitive, but that is exactly what they're trying to do. They have to be able to show to the hawks and the conservatives in the U.S. Senate that they haven't gone soft, quote, gone soft on Iran. So this is it is rather ridiculous, however, because as I think almost anybody who knows anything about international business knows, there is a flood of international businessmen that have descended on Tehran, including many, many, many hundreds of Americans. Everyone anticipates that there's going to be a kind of a breakthrough and a reduction of the sanctions, and they want to be in place in order to take economic advantage of that situation. So the Obama administration is facing a very, very difficult situation where they're not going to be able to stop this kind of international business activity, but at the same time, they're trying very hard to protect the process from the more conservative legislators here in the United States.
When you speak of a breakthrough, Professor, certainly that seems tougher now, doesn't it, considering such U.S. actions?
Well, again, I'm hoping that people will be able to see the larger game here. I firmly believe that the Obama administration and Secretary Kerry want to see a rapprochement with Iran. They want to see us regularize our relations with Iran. So the 6-month talks, which are very fragile, are extremely important to that strategy. And I think that they feel that their paramount duty is to protect this interim agreement and to reach a final agreement in 6 months. And they don't want U.S. legislators messing with this. And so they're throwing a kind of a sop to them to show them that they still are remaining tough. And it's, as I say, this seems counterintuitive, but it is really what they're doing.
And is there any sign, Professor, that this sort of a move will appease those in the U.S. Congress who are against any deal with Iran?
Well, one can only hope. You know, the Republicans, especially the conservative Republicans, will seize on almost any excuse to attack the president and his administration. But when you say, look, we're standing tough, we're punishing companies that are illegally doing business with Iran, then it gives them less to talk about. And so this is, as I say, I think an appeasement strategy for the right wing of the U.S. Congress.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now, but we do appreciate you taking your time to speak to us today. That was Professor William Beeman speaking to us live from San Jose.
You're most welcome.